certainly been a long-ass time since we've got together to do one of these.
A very long-ass time, and whose fault is that?
The schools.
It's been a rough school year, but at least we're all pretty much set off with that.
Well, kinda. We're kinda missing one legend hunter.
Well, 2 legend hunters.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, Legend and Akari won't be here for this podcast. But fuck it, we're going on without them.
Yes. So, welcome to Season 3 of the Legend Hunters podcast. I swear to God, I need to get new artwork every time there's a new season, I think.
You can try, but I'm pretty sure considering your workload, that's going to just tax you more.
Probably. So, if anyone ever wants to do a title card...
Fan art, Zer0 would greatly appreciate it.
Yep. So, other than that, as we've mentioned before, the school year has finally ended for all of us.
Yes. How about we introduce ourselves for those who have not spoken yet?
Yes.
So, I am Leo Force, of course, and joining us from all the way in the barren north is Muzi.
Hello!
Yes.
Alright, so I guess we should go ahead and start off with how our...
Muzi, how have you been since the last podcast?
Slightly stressed. I still have to finish getting my distance class from the previous semester done.
Ooh.
I've at least made some progress, but there's still more to do.
So, you're having a bit of a rough time.
Yeah, the one that I turned in was audio editing. This next one that I have to do is video editing.
You see any good movies recently, Muzi?
Let's see.
Everything and everything?
Recently, we went to X-Men.
Ooh, how was that?
Actually, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm kind of iffy about the X-Men movies ever since I saw number 3.
Well, to be fair, 3 was like...
3 has been retconned out of existence now, so...
Well, not just that, but it was like the worst of that trilogy with Hugh Jackman. So...
Well, aside from Wolverine.
Okay, but that's a standalone thing. That's not...
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure even the directors are putting that out of canon because they did a new Deadpool movie.
Yeah, there's some things that had to be retconned for that series.
Oh, and talk about superhero retcons. We'll get to that later.
Yes, we will. Okay, so X-Men Apocalypse was okay. What else did you see? If you've seen anything else?
Well, I've seen Civil War like 3 times.
Did you see Duperman versus Bat Dad?
Yep.
And between the two, which one is the better?
Well, considering Civil War has made more than Batman vs. Superman in under a month...
Ooh.
That should tell you.
There's a lot of people hating that new Superman movie.
Well, the deal is that aside from the fact that it's dark, gloomy, and it makes no sense, it's also cut in certain points where they cut out some logical
If they had
portions.
left it alone, it would have been over 3 hours.
Yeah, it would have been over 3 hours. Just like Zack Snyder just went overboard on it, and they had to cut it to make it for the film release.
Seriously, Zack Snyder has not made a good movie ever. I think maybe he did okay with 300, but even then, I don't like his style.
Yeah.
And we went and saw Angry Birds as well, so...
Oh my God, why?
Okay, I want to
Because it was freaking hilarious.
Okay,
we
I
needed
want
to
to hear
laugh.
about that. So, the plot, as I understand it, literally just follows the game in which there are birds, pigs befriend birds, pigs steal eggs underneath birds' noses, and then birds get angry.
All I could think when we were sitting there watching this, because Akari and Yami and my parents were there as well, as I was watching Red, all I could think of was, this is how Zer0 would react if he were in this situation.
Really?
Yes!
Well, Angry
at one
Birds,
point in the movie,
Angry Zer0.
The doctor hits his knee, and he slaps the doctor.
I'm pretty sure that's Zer0 at a young age when he gets spanked on the rear. He goes ahead and he slaps the doctor back.
No, that was not me as a kid. I was too much of a wussy, whiny little twat.
Well, and like in the preview, you see this little bird kicking a soccer ball against, Red's house.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that in like the first
Instead of
teaser.
kicking the ball out into the ocean, he kicks the bird.
Okay, that's what Zero would do with a little kid.
Yeah,
And yet,
if I didn't have a moral compass.
and yet you took offense to when me and Legend did that scary drive-by on Halloween 2 years ago.
You two are still assholes for that.
But it's Halloween.
You
Well,
made
the best
that little
part to
Iron
this
Man
entire
kid
thing-
shit his pants for the next month.
But it's Halloween.
The best part, though, is that he has two friends, the yellow bird and the black bird, Chuck and Bomb. And I sat there going, okay, now which one of these is Legend and which one of these is Leo?
Oh dear God. Did you figure it out?
I'm still contemplating because Chuck pings everywhere. I mean, it's hilarious. And then Bomb, out of nowhere, will explode because he can't figure out how to control it.
That sounds like Legend.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, because he'll just suddenly go, what the fuck? He's kind of gotten that sudden explosive tendency to his personality.
It's amazing how we pick up each other's traits as we interact with one another.
Yeah, I hate...
Tis the bonds of friendship.
I am going to stab this pencil
literally
into your eye if you
explodes.
do that again.
Please don't.
They try to give him a surprise party in a flashback, and he blows up.
Yeah, that's kind of not a good idea when your best friend's name is Ba.
Yeah.
Any
To be
game-
honest, that actually does sound like Legend again. If we ever try to do something to surprise him, I'm pretty sure he'd freak the fuck out.
Well, remember we had that friend of ours who went ahead and was concerned that Legend hadn't had a girlfriend, and she went ahead and said, "I'll just show up at your house in the front door wearing a red dress and just kiss you right in front of your parents."
Oh yeah, her.
I mean, and we've always talked about the times where we're just gonna kidnap him from his house, and he's like, "No.
Technically, we have tried to kidnap him.
Twice, I think.
Yeah.
I think this is not the first instance of it, but we've never actually gone through, as we said.
Yeah, we've
And
never
at the-
actually broken through a window to actually grab him.
but I think the thing we've always said is we'd tie him up with rope and use duct tape. I think we've never gone through with that,
Yeah,
which would not be good.
I'm pretty sure if he does that to me, if he does try to stiff us or does not respond to us, we will get the duct tape next time.
Oh, Joy, let's not, because that would not be good to admit on camera. Anyway,
Well, it's not like his family listens to this.
not for that reason, Jinglebot. Anyway,
Oh,
you
shut
play
up.
any games, Muzi?
I've been rotating between a few. I was playing Super Mario Maker, getting a little Splatoon in, maybe a little game called Uncharted 4. Yeah.
Ah, yes. The game that stiffens Muzi's lady boner.
And I've already beaten it.
Let me guess, you're already going to play it again.
Maybe.
I was going to ask you, how does that series end? How do you think the ending went?
It actually went pretty well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say too much because,
Spoilers.
there's still people out there playing it, and watching people play it. So.
Right.
So it's probably best to...
But did you feel it was satisfactory? Do you feel like they did a good? They didn't cliffhanger it too badly?
Nah, Naughty Dog's wrapped it up pretty good. I could just sit there in certain spots in this game, though, and just stare off out at the scenery because you're just like, whoa.
Well, I'll say this. I may not be a fan of the games themselves, but Naughty Dog does know how to make a good-looking sandbox. Not sandbox, skybox.
Well, they also make good sandboxes. They did the Sly trilogy,
Well, yeah, that's true.
so they do have their good chops.
Wait, did they? No.
Yeah, no, that was Sucker Punch. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, even the area that you have to climb around in, I mean, there's so much detail to everything. It's ridiculous how much detail there is. It's just a generally beautiful game. And they've been pulling this off since the first one. And it's just gotten better.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Anything to add, or that pretty much covers it?
Looking into finishing Fire Emblem Fates. I need to
God.
finish Revelations.
God, I need to do that too. Damn it.
And then I've been replaying the Ace Attorney games in preparation for when they finally give us the new one.
Yeah, they're gonna come out with 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yes.
Dual Destiny is 5.
Hmm.
So yeah, so
And
that was gonna
Akari
be.
is groaning yet again because it's a digital download only.
You know what? I think the digital download only is better because that way, because then you don't have it costs less. So
Well, I told him I look at it this way. I would like a cartridge, however, I'll take it how I can get it.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was
And the thing about it being digital download is it's also available on iOS. So people who don't have to invest into a Nintendo system to play the Ace Attorney games now, because they have I think the 3 games not including Apollo Right or
Apollo Justice.
Apollo Justice.
Yeah, they have the original trilogy.
The
on
original
there.
trilogy, and they have 5 on iOS devices, and I'm pretty sure this will follow it as well.
They still
Oh, most likely.
Why haven't they
That normally
bothered?
comes out a little bit after the actual console release, but it eventually hits the phone. So.
What I've been wondering is why the hell aren't they bothering to put Apollo in with the games at all?
It might just be because the name
Really?
might be. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I think a lot-
Keep in mind that it took them forever to get Dragon Quest 3 onto iOS devices, but they had 1 and 2 from the start, and they had 8 of all games on there
Yeah.
already, which is the high tech one, which would lag on an iPod so hard.
Yeah.
No, my irritation is the fact that they gave us the first Miles Edgeworth investigations,
And didn't bother
but
giving us the
not
second.
the second one,
The second one
which
is
I have heard is even better.
yeah, I've seen some fan translations of it, and it's actually like, holy shit, they bring up old characters, new characters, they have some really nice plot developments.
I have not. I've seen a little bit of a fan translation of the first chapter. I didn't get to see the full end.
Basically, Miles. Okay, so remember about the whole thing going into Dual Destinies was that they were having a bunch of issues within the judicial system.
Yeah.
Miles Edgeworth Investigations 2 explains exactly what that is.
Really?
See, that's why we need it.
So even though it's a spin-off in terms of the universe, it supplements a lot.
So it actually helps flesh out the canon.
Yeah, it fleshes out the canon, and I remember reading this or seeing this from the Digino Gaming. Phoenix Wright's universe is canonically in America, and the whole deal is that apparently it's supposed to be if during World War II they didn't have the concentration camps
Oh, really?
or the containment camps, so basically the Asian influence was allowed to promulgate on the West Coast.
Okay.
So it all takes place in America, and saying the American locations is correct, but some of the things culturally are different because of the fact that that Asian heritage was not allowed to flourish as much as it used to. So instead of it being contained, it spread out throughout the West Coast instead of just being stuck in certain parts.
Okay.
So that's how that works. And so this is actually going to be 6 is actually going to be the first game where Phoenix is in another country, as demonstrated by the change of the judicial system. Apparently,
Yeah, because
It looks weird, but it looks fun.
he's going to be in the Kingdom of Corraine.
mm-hmm.
Well, they gave us the trilogy on the 3DS. Why not give us investigations and then bring in 2 with it as a download together?
Translation is probably the biggest thing that's keeping it out from away. But then there's
If
the fan
fans
translation.
can do it, they can do it.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, people translated Mother 3,
Yeah, and that still hasn't come out.
and that still hasn't come out. So I mean, it's not just a matter it's not that someone else did it, therefore you should do it. It costs me more to do
They
this.
can do it, though.
They can do it. It just costs them too much. Is the deal.
Yeah.
Okay, Zero. How about what have you been up to since the last podcast?
Oh, God. A lot of stuff, really. Mainly I've been working on minor projects here and there. I am literally 1 credit away from graduation. That's so frustrating.
Yeah, you told me the story about that.
Yeah, god damn my freaking professor saying that I wasn't participating enough.
It was for a seminar class, wasn't it?
Yes, literally a 1 credit seminar.
Do we need to send you with a 2x4?
No. I've kind of...
Too much effort.
Too much effort that, and I've kind of pushed it off to the side. I'm like, there's nothing...
It's not worth it.
Yeah, he says as he's still twitching angrily.
How about
It's like-
games? Let's talk about games. What have you been up to?
Game-wise, been doing a lot. I just beat Bravely Second about a week or so before finals.
Nice.
Oh
And
god, I need to play that.
I'm going to say this. It's a very good game. It's basically a continuation of Bravely Default. It's basically that. So, if you play Bravely Default, immediately go into Bravely Second, you're not going to miss much.
Is there going to be a Bravely Third?
Yes, they sequel baited. They fucking sequel baited at the end.
Speaking of games, have you gone and gotten the second map pack for Fire Emblem Fates?
I haven't even gotten the first map pack.
Is it the second map pack? Like, it explains what the kids were doing?
You're actually fighting battles with the kids. And there's it's actually a strung together story, apparently. So,
Actual plot.
Huh.
yes.
Well,
And there's actual plot ones in the first map pack as well. So,
yeah, there was the ones where they explain why the three kids, Owain,
Severa.
Severa,
/ Luna and
what's his... Laszlo.
Laszlo, which is
His,
Olivia's kid.
yeah,
I can't remember his actual name in Awakening, but basically those three.
yeah, they explain how they came into that world, because they're actually from the Fire Emblem...
So they dimension hopped?
Yep, they dimension hopped. And in fact, for the Awakening DLC, the free DLC where you can do the fight with Crom, his sis,
Crom, Elisa.
Lisa, and Frederick. If you actually bring Odin in, he's saying, "Oh crap, there's my mother." Yeah, and if you bring in his daughter, you can actually have a conversation with
Lisa.
Lisa and her granddaughter.
oh god.
Yeah.
I can
I
only
love how they've interconnected the two games, though. But
Yeah.
yet maintained, them being separate.
Yeah.
And I think I'm kind of liking the whole idea that the Fire Emblem world is just like different dimensions kind of seamed together.
Makes it a little bit more sense than trying to create this tapestry of heritage.
Yeah, like I think for the entire Marth heritage leads up into Awakening.
Yeah, that would make sense. The Blazing Sword heritage led into Roy's story
Yeah,
because Roy is actually Elwood's son.
yeah.
Roy's our boy? No.
What else? Actually, it's yours still. So
Other games I've been playing, I've picked up Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate again because I'm eagerly waiting for Monster Hunter Generations to come
Generations.
out.
How about on the systems?
Oh, the systems. Let's see. Been playing a lot of shit. Dark Souls 3. I'm still getting through that.
We stopped. Did you beat the Giant King?
Oh, I have not gotten to Yorm yet. I actually took a break for a while.
Oh, okay.
So
It was getting pretty salty over there.
yeah, me and Leo actually tried to get to Yorm, and
Well, we did, but then we died right before we finished for the day. So
yeah, we were trying to use the Storm Blade that you can get.
because it does like stupid damage to him.
Yeah, everything else it's like chip damage on the guy.
Yeah, it's stupidly easy.
So once we actually manage to get our way back there, we'll actually use the fucking sword and kill him in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But other than that, maybe a little bit of practice on Dark Souls 2. Leo and I started a kind of a joint, playthrough.
Joint build for Fallout 4.
Yeah, we're not going to actually do a let's play of that because God.
You're trying to do a let's play of one of Bethesda's Adventures games. You might as well just go ahead and make that a full-time job because there is so much stuff you can do in there that it's not even funny. I'm pretty sure, like I'm pretty sure there are let's plays.
Yeah, Steven Plays actually did a Skyrim let's play.
100 plus episodes, I guarantee you.
Over 130.
There you go. Yeah, and that's probably just the base game, not counting DLC.
Yeah, and he's probably cut out a lot of the travel as well.
A lot of the travel, a lot of the battles, a lot of the fun. So
It's kind of...
It's one of those things that it's fun, but it would get old after a while. And unlike games like Dark Souls where we can do grinding, you can't really grind in the background for Skyrim.
Well, I did grind.
I mean, you can grind, but then you usually do it by doing other quests or doing crafting exploits.
Yeah, or do what I did to boost both stealth and illusion. Just keep going around the hall of the Mages Guild. The Mages College.
Actually, one of the other glitches I've seen for that is when you, for stealth, Ventus, you go into his house and you just run into the wall for about 2 hours.
Really?
And because someone's there, it will count raising your stealth.
Huh.
You can also do that with one-handed and sneak for the dude you sneak out with in the beginning base, right when you get up to the bear, and just repeatedly backstab him, and he doesn't get mad or he doesn't die.
Really?
And that will give you like instant. That you can easily power level that to 100.
Holy
for
shit.
both stats, and that just is stupidly. It's just a stupid thing.
So really, just get behind the guy who gives you the bow and just stab, kill him, wait for him to recover.
No, he doesn't stab. He doesn't die. He just staggers down, and then he comes back up.
Yeah, and then once he gets back up, stab.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to try that.
I do that, but I recommend it to you with caution because then you get because then it power levels.
The
power level will go ahead and screw you in the end. So unless you got to be careful with that. Same thing with using any crafting glitch at a low level, because you can power level smithing and like I've done like major playthroughs where I start getting like I think after level 50 smithing, you just start crafting sword after sword and weapon after weapon. You just power level like crazy.
Huh.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh god, now I want to play Skyrim again.
I know, it's addictive. Anything else?
Well, I'm actually am back in school still. I'm taking the one research credit that I need in order to graduate. And it's pretty fun. I'm extracting DNA from plants. Which is interesting.
You're working plants off. You can extract DNA from them that way.
Well, technically pollen is technically sperm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, you're also eating babies when you eat the fruit.
Well, when you go ahead and you cook chicken and you go ahead and you baste it you baste it in the for the coated for the breading, you're basically bathing a mother in its children.
Yeah, that's kind of
so yeah. I mean, you can go ahead and take anything mundane and then make it twisted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no goddamn surprise.
All right then. I'm pretty sure I've made a few people vegetarian now. And for those who are gotten sick from the idea of plants being pollinated, not being pollen being sperm, good luck trying to eat anything else.
Just don't think
Maybe
about
they
it.
like the idea and you've just created more psychopaths.
Yeah. All right, with that done, Leo, how's your month been?
I've been pretty good. I had 2 weeks of finals, so that was interesting. Gotta say, it went a lot easier than last semester for me. So, finally done with my first year of law school. It's fantastic.
One down, two to go.
2 to go. I'm in town with Legend and Zer0 here for the summer. Going to be doing an internship downtown. That's going to be pretty fine and dandy. Game-wise, social-wise, I played a lot of Fallout 4 back in Iowa before coming back down here. I got up to level 30. And I gotta say, I finally found a build that works to my strengths and that I've been able to progress quite a bit.
Oh, really?
So that's why I started getting into it and started helping you with your build.
Yeah, I need to actually do a little bit more of that build as well.
Right. Really, now that I have a better handle, again, the biggest thing about jumping from any of the previous Fallout games to this one is that you actually need your shooting chops for this game. And you will build that right away. If not, there's melee builds.
True, I do actually have a melee build in Fallout 4 that's actually really good. It's where you're far away and you immediately just rush up and beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, there's actually special armor that's literally, it's just a barbarian leotard or the barbarian thong, and it gives you like +2 to strength.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I mean.
Oh, Grognak's thong.
Yeah.
That's nice, but I kind of like the.
But it not. Does it count as like full body?
I don't know, but
Because there are some clothing outfits that have armor to them, but then then count as a full uniform.
what I'm wearing for that build is shadowed padded leather.
Oh yeah, because of the stealth.
Yeah, stealth and the sneak.
Yeah, the ninja build that works out pretty well too. Other things.
Also, I made the character female and looked kind of like the Joker.
Fantastic. Played a lot of Mega Man 5 and 6. I might get into 7 and 8 later on. Probably not 7, more likely 8.
Ooh.
7 was terrible. Burn to the ground! Burn to the ground! Like I said, we started a personal game of Dark Souls 3 with Zero. Did a lot of D&D with a group that I met back in Iowa City, so we had a lot of fun with that. Really getting into Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, and I've started to teach these two guys how to play it, Zero and Legend, and depending on how things go with Tails and Buck, we might actually do a one-shot of that while I'm in town.
That would actually be pretty fun. Didn't you say we're going to probably schedule that for sometime in June?
Yeah, probably a week after my birthday, which is next week, so that'll be fun.
All right.
Other things I've been playing, started doing a bit more Pokemon, doing Bravely Default, because I haven't had time to do that. A lot of things going on. I'm trying to start up doing Fallout on my PC. I had a funny little interaction today while I was starting up my Pokemon Y with Pokemon Y today. So one of the things about Pokemon Y is that you can actually get a nickname with the rival group, your rivals that start out with you at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Shauna, Tierno, Trevor, and either Calum or Selena. So you can have them choose. You already input your own name when you're with Sycamore, and then you get to choose a nickname that you get addressed by them alone. There are some interesting nicknames you could choose for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I think we've all seen the daddy little clips.
Yeah.
Where the players in the starting forest and Sean is with you, and she goes. You can ask her. You turn to her and you ask her to prompt you to heal, and she goes and says, "Want me to heal your Pokemon, Daddy?"
Oh, yeah.
And so I wanted to test this just to see first off was that screen captured or not. No, it's not. First off.
Oh God.
And so I sent this to Legend because he thought that wasn't true for some reason.
Really?
Yes.
Oh dear God Almighty.
So I started getting a little creative with it. If I can actually find, I tested a bunch of names. Daddy passes it. Dom passes it. Dominatrix passes the scan test.
Oh dear God.
Pimp Daddy does not pass the test, but Mac Daddy does. And then I decided to think, okay, they have to go ahead and. I chose for the last nail in the coffin. This has got to be banned. Homeister passes the internal scanner.
Holy shit!
And as I was telling Legend about this, everyone calls you the nickname. So even though the screenshot only showed it with Shauna, Tierno and Trevor will also call you by whatever nickname you choose for yourself.
Yeah.
So I chose Homeister to show Legend to show this is some pretty ridiculous stuff. I am having too much fun with this. And then I go ahead and I choose my starting Pokemon. It really doesn't matter because I've been imported from Pokemon Box. Breed them with the hidden ability, start out that way.
God,
And
I
then
love the Pokemon box.
I get a good nature on the starter. So I'm like, I want the starter, but then I have to live with Homeister as my nickname. Legend's response? Do it! A la Shia LaBeouf. The legend of the Homeister begins.
I can't
So are
breathe.
you guys gonna do some more Mario Party when?
Oh
Legend
yeah,
gets done?
we're probably going to do a little bit more Mario Party. One of the commenters was asking to pick Waluigi as the next CPU.
Either that or I'm going to go as Waluigi.
Well, either or. So Waluigi's going to be showing up somewhere.
yeah. Oh god!
What else?
I think we can get at least another 1 or 2 more
Oh,
games of Mario Party.
Easily, we could probably do all 6 tracks before we.
I want to see you screw each other over with 9. That would be
Okay.
awesome.
Well, we don't have 9,
We don't own it,
but we have something better.
Fortune Street.
Yeah, I purchased Fortune Street. With the law school, there's one of the research engines we use for cases gives you points every time you go ahead and search on it a day, and it goes ahead and gives you points for going to their seminars and to their luncheon events or doing videos on how to refine your searches. So they give you a lot of opportunity to earn these points, which you can then redeem for gift cards to restaurants or shopping sites. So I cashed in my points and used my points to go ahead and purchase Fortune Street for the Legend Hunters.
And it's sitting in my game case right now, and I'm contemplating.
We did like 2 practice rounds of that.
Yeah, on the easy mode.
Okay, so the thing about I saw Fortune Street played by the Runaway guys with what's the girl's name?
Yooka-Laylee.
And so they did not have any CPUs then.
Yeah.
What they did have, the reason for it, and I think that they did that intentionally, because when you have a CPU there, the CPU plays by its own goddamn rules.
No fucking kidding.
The CPUs have grades, which determines how
difficult it is.
So characters like Mario and Bowser are A grade, and characters like Birdo and Diddy Kong are D grade. And I think we had Yoshi as B grade.
Yep.
And so it varies. And the problem is that certain characters could screw you over.
Yeah, Yoshi ended up winning at one, I think.
Yeah, we were playing under the simple rules.
Which we're not going to do if we actually do
So there's 2 ways you can play Fortune Street. The first way is simple mode, which basically makes it Monopoly without the investment system.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the standard rules, which is you go around the board buying properties, but you also buy stock, which is separate from that.
Yeah, you buy the stock, which ends up boosting the economy of those areas.
So it has a richer depth of play to it than Monopoly does, and so it's not all about getting. It's about getting property, but it's about getting the right properties.
Yeah,
Still, and even if you don't get that property, you can still win by investing in stock. So it's very interesting. It's going to require multiple playthroughs off camera before we start to get something decent, and we might have to bring in a 4th player just so we don't get screwed by the CPU.
Yeah, either that or someone's going to have to play a third.
I think there would be someone appropriate for the 4th one, but we would have to talk about that later.
Okay.
I have someone in mind we could bring in for the 4th player on that one.
All right.
We still need to eventually do a test recording of Cards Against Humanity just for the fun.
Yeah, we need to do that too.
Maybe we could do that on Sunday. Or I'm actually going to be at my dad's house for a full week, so we can actually test it out.
Sure. I will have to see. I'm doing an application for a group to join for next semester that I'm working on this immediate week, and plus my birthday with coming up with that, so I'm going to be pretty packed.
Yeah.
But I'll see if we can work that in somewhere.
All right. Then.
Otherwise, I think that covers all of our weeks. Unfortunately, without Legend or Akari, we don't get their input, but c'est la vie.
We're already half an hour in. Let's go ahead and move on to the stupid news.
Yeah. So this douchebag does not cover what Morocco is doing, but it still
We're in
is.
the douchebag section, not just story.
Yeah,
of the
but
week.
still, it's the douchebag section. But this one really just takes the cake in terms of the amount of bullshit that is going on.
Okay, Leo, go ahead and explain this one.
So, the basic thing is Morocco. Let me give you the short version. I'll go into it. Morocco has banned online gaming. That's the short version. The long version is that Morocco went ahead and basically monopolized their internet services, so you have to buy from the state-owned one, and they banned voice over IP services. What that means is that Discord, Skype, Google Chat, any of those things where you talk to people over the internet, no more. You can't use them.
That is bullshit.
Which, consequently, because you can't use any of those services, you can't really game online.
Yeah, and now that I'm thinking about it, how will businesses contact each other?
Well, telephone.
Oh god, that's going old school now.
I mean, But it's something that's so strange, and that's like that is on the of the things to do when you're going to become an evil government empire. That is like one of the first things you do is you cut down communications.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they put a small update on here, and the Morocco Telecom is claiming that it wasn't deliberate.
Claiming that it wasn't deliberate.
And apparently gaming service is supposed to resume. Stay tuned.
Allegedly, again, I think that the banning of voice over IP services, that in itself is pretty ballsy.
That is pretty iffy. And you know that if the U.S. government ever did something like this, my God, would there be a riot?
No, I'm waiting for the UN to go ahead and get involved, because I would imagine that is not very nice.
Yeah.
So moving on from state government bullshit to racism on the evilness scale. Video game publisher removes non-right removal mod from Steam Workshop.
AKA, basically, the mod was designed to remove non-white characters from video games. Either that or...
No. Not just non-white, but also make it so that you never have to encounter them in the game.
Wow. So, talk about a white supremacy game.
Well, that was what the mod apparently intended to do. So, someone uploaded this onto Steam Workshop, and the publisher had it pulled off of Steam Workshop.
Really?
Yeah.
That's when you know you done screwed up.
That's when you know you done. Apparently, there's still an independent mod site where you can still find said mod.
Okay.
But the publishers, for all intents and purposes, have condoned it.
Wow.
So
yeah. And here's the thing. Publishers will condone even the sexy mods.
Well, because that essentially would change the game rating from M to AO.
Yeah.
That's that's the reason for that. And after what happened with hot coffee, no one wants to be put into that spot.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for that.
Yeah, they're saying, hey, if you want to see titties, do it yourself.
Well, they don't necessarily say that. They just say don't make it public that you're doing that shit.
Yeah.
And that's why the mod community why the mod community was pushed aside, and why it's so odd that Bethesda's saying we will incorporate mods onto our systems.
Yeah.
Because that is I don't even know how that's gonna work.
How the hell?
Because
Because
Bethesda has to screen it before. Bethesda's gonna have to screen it and say, okay, we'll put this up. So how does that work?
Who's gonna get paid to do that?
I guess certain mod developers will actually get paid to have their mods be available on the console.
I don't think they are. I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how they said they were going to do it, because it was going to be free mod support.
Well, if that's the case, maybe you just go online.
I would imagine that it's like, hey, you want to have your mod on the console, so send it to us. We will go ahead and screen it, and if we say that we like it, we'll put it on the shelf. I would imagine that's how it would work.
Yeah, I guess.
So I imagine something rule breaking like that would essentially get the game's rating changed from M to AO would not be essentially approved that way.
However, mods that would actually help improve the functionality or download speed or...
No, those, because then that replaces patches, and there are some issues with some of those. More likely this would be like armor changes, weapon changes.
Maybe different skins.
Different skins, yeah, because there's one of the power armor, the T60 power armor, there's a Buzz Lightyear skin you can apply to it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
To infinity and...
Yeah, and I think it comes in two versions. One version where it applies to everyone. One version where it applies only to the BOS models of it.
Okay.
So, Paladin Dance, when you see him, he just looks like Buzz Lightyear.
By the way, Brotherhood of Steel is nothing but a bunch of racist
Okay,
bots.
so here's the thing about that, is that the Brotherhood of Steel were always like that.
Really?
Fallout 3 was the one who... Okay, so the Brotherhood of Steel, if you met them in Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, they were kind of assholes.
Yeah.
Fallout 3, the guy in Fallout 3 went ahead and said, this is bullshit. We have the power. We should be kicking ass, and we should be making the world a better place. So he did exactly like that. In New Vegas, you saw the old Brotherhood, which is like, nope, we're going to be isolationists. We're cultists, basically.
Yeah.
And so you have to go through this whole bullshit quest to go ahead and do things for them before they say, all right, maybe all of the outsiders. You're the cool exception. We'll let you into the club. But fuck the wasteland still. Fuck the wasteland still, is what they say. And
I don't know.
And in Fallout 4, the commander in Fallout 4 is a little kid from Fallout 3, who's basically King Arthur's son.
Really?
Who they basically said, we got to save this guy because he's going to be the new king, and so he's actually supposed to come off as a conflicted guy, like, I know I'm supposed to be doing the right thing, but I must uphold the morals of the Brotherhood. So he's caught between going the path of 3 and going the path of New Vegas, and he tosses his head, fuck it, I'm going with New Vegas, and that's basically what happens.
So. That's very stupid. And
Well,
I honestly don't think I could stomach going through the Brotherhood of Steel's quest line. I don't think I could stomach it.
Well, again, but that's the point. I think in terms of giving you moral dilemmas between each of the factions, I think they do a better job here than in any of the other games, and they do so without the karma restraint.
That's true. Although I still kind of side with the Institute in some spots, but in some ways I also side with the Railway.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be that simple, and they've done a better job of that. Again, now having a voice protagonist, you see the downsides of, unfortunately, in that game.
All right, now we did mention some comic book bullshit earlier on.
Yes.
So this blew up all over Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. Captain America, apparently in the comic books, has been a secret Hydra agent.
Yeah, that's his new backstory. He's actually been working for Hydra all along.
I believe I can speak for Akari at this point. Bullshit! 75 years of freaking, freedom fighting and all this stuff. And what do they do to him?
They turn him into a Nazi.
Yes.
Holy...
I believe that's exactly how Akari put it, bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other word for it. And if I recall right, the creators of that comic are immediately backpedaling. It's like, oh, no, he's not really a Hydra agent, he's just controlled or something.
What I was telling Akari, I was like, the backlash for this is so immediate and so bad. This will be retconned out of existence before you can finish blinking.
I'm willing to bet by the next comic of Captain America, they'll immediately find a way to retcon it.
They better hope so, otherwise they're going to be losing a lot of money.
This is a brand new Captain America comic series that they've brought out. Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Yeah, this is not going to boil over well with the fans.
Actually, funny fact...
Or they're going to make it as to where, this is an alternate universe.
I actually saw a tweet from Steve Rogers, and he says, "What?" As he's looking at the comic.
Chris Evans? Yeah, he's kind of pissed.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, the actual guy playing Captain America on the big screen is like,
yeah.
No.
He's not happy.
Yeah, the actors have to have some sort of connection. I know Hugh Jackman is tired of playing Wolverine, but, most of the actors have some sort of connection, I would say now. I can only imagine, if they did this to Robert Downey Jr., I'm pretty sure he would be in the tirade.
Oh, there would be hell to pay.
Yeah.
There would just be hell to pay.
Next on the douchebag of the week list, surprisingly, Steam makes this list for once.
Oh yeah, the actual company Steam.
Yeah.
No, wait, not Steam itself. It's Valve, technically.
Oh, Valve.
Yeah.
But still suing Steam.
Yeah.
A transgender translator sues Steam for $3.1 million over a discrimination lawsuit. Apparently going as far to claim as they refer to the person as it. Not fun?
Yeah, you do not do that.
Not fun?
No.
I think that's the first thing they go over in the sensitivity manuals.
Yeah, and, don't become like the South Carolina governor.
Yeah, let's not regulate the bathrooms.
That's not a goal someone should have.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I actually saw a news article where he's saying he's going to be actually enforcing that rule.
Oh, as someone who is in the criminal justice community, I'm looking forward to seeing this fall out.
Ooh. And keep an eye out on this lawsuit as well. I want to see how it pans out.
Again, speaking as a law student, as an uneducated law student, not as a lawyer, I more likely than not, and
this will settle out of court.
Settle out of the court. That's like you see that you don't see it reported a lot, But in actuality, that's what happens a lot.
Most of the time, companies say, "Okay, you know what? You
Like
win. We'll settle this out of court."
The main reason for that is because if they actually win, that price tag usually is what it is, if not a little bit less, but not like significantly less.
It'll end up being like, say, "You know what? We'll shut you up for $2 million."
No, if they settle, it would be less than that.
Really?
Because it's instant. Because it's right here, right now. Do not have to go through the trial. Do not have to waste all the money on attorneys. It's liquid. That's why the lawsuits are settled out of court, and therefore it never actually goes. It never establishes any sort of like precedent, which would be something very influential for transgendered people, but it also wouldn't not blemish the company itself.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the company out of as harsh a light as possible.
Kind of like that, yeah. Again, thoughts of an uneducated law student, not an actual lawyer.
At least until you actually do.
No, do not start that. Do not start that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I retract my statement.
Thank you. Now this next one is a bit funny. Capcom Pro Tour updates to rules to address gambling, player behavior, and sponsorships.
So I guess this is for like.
So this is for the Capcom fighting tournaments when you go people see online playing games. So here's what here are the three things that actually this means. The sponsorship deal first off. No adult-based businesses can sponsor you in a Capcom tournament.
So this team has not been sponsored to you by Viagra.
No, not Viagra, by YouPorn.
Oh.
There's actually a fighting game team, and there was also earlier a team, I think it was a League of Legends team or one of the MMOs teams, sponsored by YouPorn.
Ooh.
And were not allowed to participate because YouPorn wanted to go ahead and promote their services.
Yeah. No.
So not only can so the Capcom rules say you can get the sponsor, but we're not going to go ahead and promote their products, which makes the sponsorship moot, in a sense. The second thing, gambling. If you're do not gamble on the service floor, guys. Do not show the trading of illegal money in between hands.
Yeah, that should be pretty straightforward.
Well, it's a common practice in there for like, it's literally pretty much goes like, hey, I bet you this guy wins on the next match. And it's like, you're on. And that's how it pretty much goes. That's apparently one of the big reasons why a lot of people do that, or go to those events, they can do that. So even if you're not playing for the jackpot in the game, the money match is still going on, and that's where you make those bets.
I see.
Now the last one is a bit interesting. Player behavior. And Capcom is apparently saying they're going to throw out people who swear, who go ahead and make vulgar comments, and who engage in other acts of thuggery.
Oh man! So
and the reason this is a bit particular is because there's a racially diverse amount of players in the fighting game in the fighting game scene.
Oh really?
Yes, especially from Chicago, New York, a lot of the metropolitan areas.
Oh,
so you can see where this is starting to get a bit untasteful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can already see the New Yorkers and the people from Chicago.
You're having a little bit of an issue with it. So and
right now I'm just picturing a spat between pizza, and it's immediately devolving into complete nutfuckery.
Yeah, if you can imagine how that feud goes, imagine how it gets with video games.
So
some people are interpreting the rules to mean that if you throw the fight stick on the ground, you're gonna get ejected.
Yeah. If
you do the "you fucked up" chant, you're gonna get ejected. So a lot of things apparently all happening at once, and a lot of people are wondering, why didn't you run it with the people with the video game Illuminati? Why didn't you run it with the players who have a lot of pull with the game publishers and with why did you not run this by some people first before making all the changes at once? And it's because Capcom wants to go ahead and get some of that esports money. They want to be able to go onto ESPN and start displaying this stuff on actual TV.
Yeah, because it's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Mm-hmm. I think this covers all the douchebag news, and I think we can go on to the regular stuff.
I didn't even think the one with Capcom was all that douchebaggy. I kind of think that some of the esports things.
Well, the problem is that it's
They're trying to regulate it better so they can put it on there.
yeah, but
Which, in a sense, makes sense. They just needed to run everything through before they did this.
Yeah, that was the big thing, and because there's a lot of minorities. Not this isn't because keep in mind, not just are these rules regulating the American games, but also the European and Asian circuits as well, where the rules where those cultures are a bit different. So you're essentially putting down rules for 4 different cultures at the same time.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
So there's going to be a lot of backlash and a lot of push from it.
All right, now with that done, let's get on to the more sillier news. And oh my God, what the hell is this? No.
Yep.
Oh.
Get the pillow.
Shut up.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Fuck you. Fuck off.
I'm sorry, Resident Yellow Portis is he.
Please tell me you're gonna hit him with the pillow.
Where is the pillow? Where's the goddamn pillow? Here it is.
You done?
Now I'm done.
Okay, good. SpongeBob SquarePants is getting a musical next month.
Oh, fuck me sideways.
Yes, apparently they're going to be portraying a more human side of SpongeBob.
Ugh.
Die!
The scene, I'll let him back up.
You do that again, I will smack you. I still hate the fact that I used to like that show as a kid.
Well, it used to actually be good, and then it sucked.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember when it started to suck.
I think it says it's been around for 10 years or something like that.
Okay, so anything going along for about 10 years sucks. Fairly Odd Parents.
It needs to die.
Let me see, because it actually says how long
The show's been going on.
the show has been running. 17 years!
Holy... Okay, that's it. It's done. It's dead. It needs
It's
to...
like The Simpsons. It's run its course. It just needs to die.
Yeah, 17 years SpongeBob has been around, but they are going to go ahead and have some fun with it.
Oh, dear God almighty.
So, yeah, that's going to be forward to. Also, whole lot of games coming out and a whole lot of announcements being made before E3.
Yeah, so let's just move the SpongeBob off to the side and let's not mention it again.
You just want to go ahead and wax it off away?
Oh, shut up.
Or do you want to just go ahead and scrub the idea out of your mind?
Enough. Please, I don't want to smack you again. Let's move on. Nintendo's offering Legend of Zelda Wii U demos to 500 lucky fans at the demo in June.
It's supposed to be for E3, I think.
If I recall, yeah, I think if I recall right, it is for E3.
I don't even want to see how long that line's going to be.
Well, apparently, yeah, it's going to be during E3 week.
So
you have. So here's the rules. You have to be at the Nintendo New York starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time on June 11th to go ahead and get there.
I'm willing to bet people are going to be camping out there long before for Black Friday.
And then June 14th to the 19th, they're actually going to get their hands on it.
Man, I'm willing to bet people are already starting to line up for it.
No, it says here the line will start to form at 7 a.m. Eastern that morning. The company mentioned. So they're pretty
who
much.
are they kidding? The line's going to start forming like the day before.
Oh yeah, but they're not even going to consider you until it's 7 a.m. But I guarantee you, if you aren't there before 7 a.m., you're going to be out of luck.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet people are going to be fighting each other for it.
Yep, tooth and nail.
If you aren't there by at least probably like 3 a.m., you're probably screwed because people are going to be waiting overnight.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's move on to the next thing.
Which is a bit of more of my category. Yooka-Laylee.
And me.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and Akari, he was a backer as well, so.
Oh, yeah.
So, Yooka-Laylee has some details for E3.
Damn it. So, yeah, Muzi, why don't you explain this a little bit, since we haven't let you talk much?
Well, essentially, they've decided to bring out quite a bit more of the screenshots, and if you've been following the backer emails, if you get them, you get special pictures of characters and what they're going for the sandbox, and it's just beautiful. It looks like the game that we've wanted from Rare for years, which makes sense because most of the people working on this used to work for Rare.
Yeah, they're basically Rare in everything but name.
Rare 2.0.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find where they had the information, but I'm being a derp.
But yeah,
Platonic Games,
so
if
so
they
they-
do everything the way they're showing us and the way they're saying, and this demo comes out, and it's actually what they said, they're going to have so many people wanting this game.
So among the things they announced, they are going to be having a demo that's going to be available to play through.
That's the toy box thing that they announced in their Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
They also announced details about the villain and the story itself.
Yep, we actually have two villains. We have Capital B, if I recall right,
Yes.
and he's literally an evil mogul bee.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm glad that they've actually gone back to some of the silly side with names and stuff, like
Yeah,
Banjo-Kazooie did and stuff
here
like
we
that,
go.
you know.
The ingenious tech firm Quack Corp has been subject to a hostile swoop by Diabolic Publishing Corporation in Hivory Towers. Together they were about to launch their most devious scheme yet, all under the leadership of the cunning buzzness executive Capital B.
Oh.
The puns. It's weird. These types of puns I love.
Mm-hmm. Yet apparently
It's
mine cause you
glorious
nothing but pain.
retro puns that are awesome.
They're the old school gaming puns. This game is basically the best N64 game we've never played.
Yeah.
It's a Banjo-Kazooie fan's wet dream, okay, is essentially what it is.
Uh-huh. In addition, the standalone build of the game would be available in July for backers, and there would be more information about what's going on in at E3.
I'm kind of wishing I did the toy box demo backing thing.
Yeah.
How much did you back, Muzi?
I think enough to get a free copy of the game.
Yeah, if I recall right, I did enough for the copy of the game, the art book, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had enough to get the copy of the game, so.
And the demo is going to be spoiler free, so you don't have to worry about playing it early.
Well, I'm willing to bet a lot of Let's Players I know will probably be trying to
Oh
do
yeah, a lot of them are going to jump on this, and normally Rare was pretty good about letting people, you know, show gameplay videos, and so Platonic Games is going to want to get the game out there.
Oh yeah, they want to show people.
More people interested, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Especially since the demo itself is spoiler free, they're going to want people to show off the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say they're not going to pull up Mighty Number 9 and try to hide it away, and then everyone gets tired of waiting for it.
Now I am kind of wishing I did do the toy box because I would have loved to do Legend Hunters show off the demo.
That would be fantastic.
That probably would have gotten us a fuck ton of views too.
Anyway, next on the list. So, apparently, Xenoverse is getting a sequel.
Xenoverse as in Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Yes. So, apparently...
Wasn't that an MMO?
It was MMO styled. But now, apparently, they're coming back for round 2. So, again, so it's basically going to be... They're going to come out with that. There's going to be more familiar characters. And there's going to be more time traveling.
Oh dear God Almighty!
So apparently, Bandai and Toei launched a teaser site that was supposed to be counting down a reveal. So while it's been teased, a formal announcement has not been, or while they have said an announcement that it's coming out, a more formal one is going to be set to be released later.
And until then, we just gotta wait and see.
Yep.
Next on our list.
Holy shit! This isn't dead.
Yep. Apparently,
The
The Last Guardian is actually slated to come out this year,
It
2016.
looks awesome.
They probably had to go ahead and stay quiet because they had to transfer from PS3 to PS4.
That was probably one of the biggest hiccups. Another thing was probably Team Ico's tremendous slow build time. But I'm willing to bet that this will be a game where the engine is going to be like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, just from the little bits that we've gotten, it's like, whoa.
uh-huh. And I will say this, even today, still on the PS2, Shadow of the Colossus looks fucking amazing.
Well, even some of the bigger YouTubers, that's one of their favorite games. Like Jacksepticeye, that's one of his favorite games. Like, ever.
I'm willing to bet in every single top 10 video game list, you will find Shadow of the Colossus somewhere, unless you're one of those people who are trying to be pretentious and say, oh, it's not the greatest game ever.
Well, there are RPG people, there are shooter people. I mean,
I know
there's many different topics. There's going to be some
that one's
overlap.
not one that would actually be like on my top list, but I mean, I don't hate it.
I would say it's
not my
a
thing.
very memorable game, and it's a good game for the purpose of the history of video game overall.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet people examine the engine and are like, how did they make it look like this?
Exactly.
But
Next, a more fucked up announcement. A video game that was supposed to be a April Fool's joke is actually going to become real.
I don't think I saw this.
Yeah, well, this is
And it looks like a mess.
Well, yes, it was a mess, but apparently it was also an April Fool's joke from about 2 years ago. This is Cat Girl Without Salad, which aside from being the busiest game ever, is supposed to be described as a game that combines elements from several gaming genres, including, quote, puzzler, platformer, shmup, action, shooter, adventure, strategy, fighting, rhythm, arcade, horror, tactical, RPG, TPS, RTS, and visual novel.
God, that sounds like a clusterfuck.
And if you've seen the one screenshot of it, it is a clusterfuck.
Jesus H.
It looks a little bit like a Mario Maker level that you would skip because it looks like a total clusterfuck.
But apparently, a lot of people liked the way it looked, and so they actually wanted to go ahead and make this thing. So
More power to them.
So apparently, they're going to go ahead and they've started development of it, and it's going to be released on Humble Monthly.
Really?
As an exclusive.
As an exclusive, it comes out actually on June 3rd.
Oh dear God. Oh dear. Oh dear God. I think my brain actually just shot itself.
It's a good thing I didn't. I saw this, but I didn't include it on the register. Hatful Boyfriend's getting an iOS release as well.
Oh my God. Not the bird game.
Yes, the
yes.
pigeon dating simulator.
It's actually.
You want to know what's something more horrible than that?
What?
Ballerinas and clowns.
Oh yeah, the latest FNAF trailer.
So I think at this point, this is just fuck you, MatPat. I think this is what this is. This is literally fuck you, MatPat, for trying to go ahead.
I've run out of regular FNAF ideas. Let's do this.
Yeah. So apparently, Scott Cawthon is coming out with another game slated for quote unquote the fall.
Oh God.
We'll see how it goes. Where you're going to go ahead and play the quote unquote sister location of Five Nights at of the Freddy Fazbear locations.
Oh my God! The
like how the
writer
article
of the Polygon article actually said the Chucky Cthulhu joint.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
you! Fuck you, man.
Well, to be fair, when you see some of these when you see these new animatronics, they have like extended faceplates that open up like a predator mouth.
Yeah, they slide and slip around. I've seen it and I'm like, really?
It's not scary.
Yeah, I'm with Muzi on this
None
one.
of
I'm
them
not
have been
terrified of
scary.
this.
That's because you're not terrified of clowns nor predators.
Actually, I am kind of scared of clowns, but that one didn't look scary.
That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, clowns kind of creep me out mainly because of something that happened at a circus while I was a little kid.
We'll see when I go ahead and I gift you this for when it comes out. We'll see how that happens.
You gift it to me, I'm going to immediately exchange it for something else.
Oh, fuck you. Still, I'm pretty sure we're going to see much joy from Markiplier.
I think that's the only reason I watch Markiplier is to see him do these videos, and even then, I kind of like to see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only reason I actually started watching Markiplier.
This is going to be the completionist's hell.
Yeah.
So I forgot to mention this while I was going through my week, what I was doing. But Neo, the beta for Neo came out in the States, which is Teen Ninja's attempt at a Dark Souls game.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually pretty cool. They have some interesting twists on it, and they make it very interesting. So they did a beta about a month back, where they went ahead and they got details from people, and they wanted to make sure see how everything was running. And so they compile their report. There were two major the two major takeaways. Number one, it desperately needs a tutorial.
Yeah.
Because people were having issues of trying to adapt from Dark Souls into this, and there were a lot of new mechanics in there that people had to discover on their own.
Yeah.
And that they would have greatly appreciated a
quick tutorial.
A quick tutorial, mainly the stance changes, as well as the stamina auto recovery.
Okay.
You can actually, if you actually recenter your sword after a combo, you regain stamina quicker.
I see.
So kind of like the perfect reload from Gears of War.
I see.
But the other thing that apparently was being complained was Asia thinks the game is too goddamn hard.
That's bad when they're thinking that it's too hard.
Well, here's the thing: is that America and all the other regions tested said, yeah, it's pretty fair. Asia was the only one who said, no, easy mode right away, please.
You mean the freaking psychopaths from freaking Korea who play StarCraft?
Well, I'm pretty sure it would be two different demographics, but basically the Asia group is saying we need to make this easier.
And yet,
but there were a lot of American users and all European users who were like, no, this is fine. This is fine.
I saw someone that I watch as a YouTuber try to stream it, and I was a little interested at first, and I was like, I don't know about this game.
Well, they had some. I mean, a lot of it depends on who you watch. If you watch their first couple of hours going into it, yeah, it's going to look rough because it's their first time with it. But apparently there were combo videos of people juggling opponents in the air, pulling off sweet parries and doing, well, basically Team Ninja style execution moves.
So they were going... So it's basically a super stylized
So basically, here's a better comparison. Whereas Ravenloft is to Dark Souls, where it's very realistic and very gritty.
Yeah.
Neo is to Dungeons and Dragons, where it goes ahead and has a flair and it takes the suspense of reality away for a bit.
Ah.
Especially considering you're essentially playing the white boy European straight off the boat, and then you become a super badass samurai.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we're pulling that trope again.
No. The hell.
Yeah.
We're doing The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise again.
Why?
In all fairness, I prefer Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai to Keanu Reeves in The 47 Ronin.
Oh god.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
Why?
Every single version of that movie needs to be collected and put into a giant bonfire.
It needs to be given the ET.
No, it should not be buried. It should be eliminated. Fire the fucking Death Star at a. Let's see.
No, see, it needs to have what Shaq Fu has, a site dedicated to finding and destroying every single copy.
Yes,
Yes.
you are correct, Muzi. Let's see what else. This month marks the 10th anniversary of Half-Life 3 being announced. In 2006, Gabe Newell and Valve announced Half-Life 2 Episode 3.
And now all the writers have retired.
And all the writers have retired, and Gabe Newell is saying nothing.
Yep. Gabe Newell is getting older, and I'm willing to bet this series will never happen.
Well, people said that a lot about The Last Guardian. People said that about Duke Nukem Forever.
That's the worst kind of example. I'm scared that what we're going to get is going to be like Duke Nukem.
I don't think so. I think Gabe Newell has too much pride in himself to pull that.
I think
he would rather bury it with his grave and never allow it to be published than for it to see the light of day and go through a Duke Nukem Forever situation.
And some fucking conspiracy nut gamer will end up digging up his grave
To go ahead and find it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He will look for, come on, there must be Half-Life 3 confirmed somewhere. Come on,
Yes.
tell me your secret bones.
Right.
Wait, if I put the bones like this, Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Right. The meme lives on.
Yeah.
So Dragon Quest Builders has a release date.
Oh, really?
I love how it explains it.
And a
Dragon
very
Quest Minecraft.
interesting story behind it, and I think you will appreciate it more than I did.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be the celebration of the 30th anniversary. The 30th anniversary was just on May 26th.
Huh.
So The Dragon Quest series apparently is going to take place after the first game. Apparently after the quote-unquote bad ending.
Really? Where you join the...
Yeah, it takes place in Alfgard, and the player character you play as is the legendary builder. And you're basically going to be reconstructing the world after the DQ protagonist turns to the dark side.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're not kidding when they say it's like Dragon Quest meets Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it certainly should be interesting. I'd like to see how this game plays out.
Yeah, of course, I'm still waiting on the remake of Dragon Quest VIII Square. Hurry the fuck up!
Yeah.
How about Dragon Quest? Yeah, Dragon Quest.
Because
8?
remember, Dragon Quest VIII, we're supposed to be able to get Red playable, and the Princess, too.
Yeah, as well as Morty.
Morty?
What's his name? The guy from the Monster Arena.
Oh, Morty's supposed to be playable?
Yes!
Holy shit! That will be interesting.
Yes!
Well, now, the question is, how are they gonna... I'm imagining there's gonna be, like, they're gonna put in a tent system now, where you get to trade out, like in Champions of the Chosen.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that. I wonder, will allies be able to level up outside of battle?
That I think they would, because doing it the other way would be too goddamn difficult.
And I hope they kind of streamline the battles a little bit, because despite the fact that I love Dragon Quest VIII, it's one of my favorite Dragon Quest
The
games.
interface is clunky as fuck.
Yeah, they need to kind of streamline it.
I think they will. My question is, because Mori is going to have a hell of a moveset.
Yeah,
I can actually imagine him being like a Blue Mage sort of character for the Dragon Quest universe.
I believe there was actually some trailer footage of that somewhere. I'm going to have to look that up again for you. But
Red, I'm curious to see what kind of moveset she's going to have. I would imagine she's going to take Wimps more seriously than the other characters.
Yeah, well, technically Jessica was the only other one who could use whips.
Right, but she's...
Well, technically Yangus could use flails.
Flail, so I would imagine, like, she would have something similar to where she could use flails and whips, so...
I wonder if they'll actually add more weapons and maybe fix the fucking alchemy pot customization crap.
The alchemy pot they will change. I don't think we're going to see it change to the, what was the first thing?
Dragon Quest 9.
No. What were you saying? You were going to change something and then the alchemist pot?
Oh, I was thinking that they were going to add more items.
Oh, yeah, they're probably going to toss in a couple more items, maybe.
Maybe stuff from, like, Dragon Quest 9, maybe?
Probably. The other thing that I'm interested in seeing is because unlocking the princess was the whole thing of the quest.
Yes.
So...
Saving the princess.
So the princess actually being part of the party is going to be interesting because that tosses up the story.
Yeah.
Because aside from a couple of cutscenes where the princess was reverted for a couple of moments, they didn't she was stuck in her cursed form until the very end.
Yeah.
So unlocking her early, I'm wondering how the fuck that's going to work.
That is going to...
And it also fucks up the secret ending, if you recall.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to, if you do the secret dungeon before the end game, it unlocks an alternate ending, which goes ahead and makes it a much happier ending.
Yeah, but you have to beat the game first in order to... Oh,
yeah, so, I mean, that also fucks it up, because that means the princess would be along for the ride.
Yeah.
So...
I do like the looks of the Dragon Quest builders, though, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, the Dragon Quest... I mean, it's Akira Toriyama doing all the artistry. You like Dragon Ball Z's characters, you're gonna like Dragon Quests.
Yeah, hell, Angelo looks like fucking Trunks.
Angelo is fucking Trunks! And the hero in Dragon Quest VIII is just Gohan.
Yeah!
Like, seriously, aside from, like, the fat characters,
Yeah.
which I think there were very few, if any, fat characters in Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
pretty much, you can literally point to them and, that's Gohan.
That's
I know where that's from.
No, I want to know which one's Krillin so we can beat him up.
Krillin. Crap. I know you can build it in Dragon Quest IX to have, like, a Krillin character, but I cannot for the life of me think of an established Dragon Quest named character that would look like Krillin.
Yeah, especially from, like, 8. It's really pulling teeth to do that.
Like,
I think some of the fatter, shorter characters with, like, the...
Where they had that dome style they had that in 1, 2 with the chibi art style.
Yeah.
And in the Dragon Quest Monster series, before they went to the DS. Because 1 and 2 of those had a very chibi-esque style. And then they went to Joker, and they had like, the protagonist in Joker 1 was like an evil Kid Buu.
Yeah, he did kind of look like that.
but I can't for the life of me remember what the protagonist in Joker 2 was. I played that one, but I can't remember for the life of me what that is.
I didn't even know there was a Joker 2.
There is a Joker 2.
I heard about Joker 1, but I never heard about Joker 2.
Joker 2 is significantly better because with Joker 1, they kind of stagnate your progress a bit, and it fucks you over a lot because they do this tournament system, which goes ahead and the pace is glacial. In 2, you're actually like, you crash landed somewhere on the island, and you have to go reach civilization. So there's actually like a compelling reason, like, holy shit, we can't progress this far because of that.
Yeah.
But basically there's like, oh, you can't enter this line because you're not the right rank yet.
Oh god, that's a load of bullshit.
And then when you travel to the lands in that game, it's by water jet. And you have to travel it every time. You get shortcuts, few and far between, but like you have to jump to multiple islands to get back to the main one.
Oh god, that sounds fun.
It has some pacing issues.
I'm also looking forward to the DS remake of Dragon Quest VII too.
Oh yeah, Dragon Quest VII looks awesome. That was actually the first Dragon Quest game I ever played.
Huh. Oh yeah, you have mentioned that.
And I got significantly far into it before I had to return the debt because I rented it. So that was the first one I ever played. Dragon Quest III was the first one that I've ever owned.
I think 8 was the first one I played.
8 is like by far 8 is the holy grail. It is. I've made the comparison to Final Fantasy VII.
It is pretty much.
It holds up.
I
don't know where my PS2 disc went though, so I'm waiting for them to freaking bring it out so I can.
Yeah. Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 on the Game Boy Color was actually my first encounter with it.
Right.
Which they weren't the best ports because they did nerf some stuff.
Right.
They also made stuff a lot harder in that one too.
I think it was in like early 2000s they made the change to Dragon Quest because of apparently a Brazilian metal band.
I don't remember.
But apparently that's the story.
Anyway, next thing. Oh god, I saw this.
From one 30th anniversary to another, and Capcom refuses to be kind. Mega Man's actually going to be getting an animated series, but boy, do I hate the art.
Oh
He
god.
looks like Ben 10 in armor.
It is because it's by the same company that did Ben 10 and crap, I can't remember what the other one was. It was the one with the mechanical boy that had like nano machines in his body. I cannot remember what the fuck his name is. It wasn't Steven Universe. It was something else. But anyway, it's done. Rex something or other.
I don't remember.
But anyway, it's made by that same artist, the one that did the Teenage Ben 10.
Oh, okay.
And so they've had some mixed reviews. It could be better, it could be worse.
Some people
I love someone's comment. They went, looks like he should be fighting in Tron.
Well, considering how the original box art for Mega Man was, we can't really complain, but at the same time, it is pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking through some of the tweets. Look, someone actually did a redesign of it that makes it look a lot better.
But that's X. That's X.
That's
This is classic Mega Man. So the deal is that Mega Man is still going to be a normal boy named Aki Light. And he's going to transform into Mega Man when he needs to.
So basically, high school drama bullshit.
Yes, because that.
So he is Ben 10.
Let me look up because I remember the I'm trying to remember the effing name of the animator who did it, because it was for one of the other. I think it might have been. Let me see. It might have been this one. Let me just see. Developed. I'm trying to find the fucking.
We're wasting time here.
Anyway, I'll look it up later, and I'll probably be able to say who it actually. Because there's a specific guy who made this series, and that's why the art style looks similar.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go on to some Pokemon-related stuff. Pokemon fans are going to get a second chance at downloading Mew in the coming month.
Which is pretty nice. Is Darkrai still available, or did I miss that?
You missed it. Fuck. Ended on Thursday.
Damn it.
I got it on all 4.
Give me.
So Mew is going to be available for download, and the main reason for it is because, if you recall, the cards for it were so goddamn rare that the game slots were limited to one person.
Yeah, I believe Nintendo was saying maybe we shouldn't be doing the cards as much. Maybe we should be doing the online.
Well,
stuff.
even then, here's the main thing: is that people were somehow obtaining cards in bulk, and then auctioning them off on eBay.
God Almighty!
And people were dumb enough to buy them.
Even though they're free.
Right. Well, exclusivity is what. There's a lack of supply. There's a high demand. You make the call.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be released. I think the next Pokemon available for download should be Zygarde, because they had the shiny. They had the shiny Zygarde should be next, because they just finished the shiny Yveltal.
Let me go ahead and pull up Cerebi and see what they say.
I love the shiny Xerneas. I'm sorry, that's
I know,
just
it's
awesome.
amazing. Okay, so yeah, they are re-releasing Mew.
Let's
Rayquaza
see.
is coming to Japan. Keep going.
Okay, I'm looking.
Let's see. Wait, go back up. Portugal, no. It's international, so it's getting confusing as
For
hell.
those of you in North America,
Yeah, it just ended. They just ended Yveltal. I think the next one up is Zygarde.
yeah. By the way, Yveltal looks like bacon.
Well, it's an
Yes.
inverse. It's an inverse black and with white instead of black.
I know.
Generator Rex.
it
That's
does
what the
look
fuck
like
it was
bacon.
called. Yeah, it's made by the same people who made Generator Rex.
I never even saw that series.
It's basically Ben 10 with nanomachines.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right.
With
With that done, we finally got to look at the Finding Dory trailer.
So yeah, basically they're expanding on why does it take them so long to actually continue stuff like this?
Well, I love how Ellen DeGeneres, the voice of Dory, obviously, she's been pushing for this for, 10 years now?
Yes, because it's been 10 years since Finding
And
Nemo came out.
They finally do it, and it's like, oh my god, yes, because she was the best part of the, Finding Nemo.
Right. This is one of those things where the spin-off character is appropriate, not Cars
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
This is fully appropriate because everybody, when they watched Finding Nemo, was like, okay, well, what's her backstory?
Right.
When are we going to find that out,
Because she's an amnesia. She's a amnesiac. Would that be appropriate?
No, she has
Memory issues.
She has short-term
memory
problems.
issues.
But I mean, amnesia because she also doesn't know where the hell she came from.
Right.
So I mean, there you go. So you got that little chestnut in there. So
Yeah,
perfect.
you put that little seed in there, and people are wondering, where'd she come from? Actually, a little twisted thing that I know that resulted from the original Finding Nemo movie is that
I was about to comment about that.
people kept buying clownfish,
Which caused the population to drop rapidly.
and start killing off coral reefs.
Yep.
Way to go, numbfucks! You did the exact same thing they did in the movies.
Actually, I don't think they had as strong of an eco message as they did.
No,
in
they
Happy
didn't.
Feet.
But they did.
Happy Feet had an eco message in it.
Oh, God.
Because you remember, like near the end, the main penguin gets kidnapped by zoologists, and then there's that whole sad scene about people wondering about why is this penguin dancing, and it goes into like a 3-5 minute montage about people making changes to save the penguins.
Oh, good lord!
It's like what the that's some ham-fisted stuff about eco.
Yeah, but mainly the thing I was talking about with the Finding Nemo thing was like, you saw the plot of the movie. The baby fish was kidnapped from his family, and the family was trying to steal it.
Why did you?
Why are you doing the same thing in real life, you fucks? And thanks to your bullshit greediness to want to satisfy your kid, you've now caused irreparable damage to the Earth's ecosystem. Way to go, numbfuck. So,
See, that's why I like people who actually use the fish breeders, not the ones who go out and obtain the fish from the reefs.
by the way, not a good idea to get a dory as a fish, as a pet fish.
The bluefins?
The I believe they're called surgeon fishes. They actually get up to like 1 foot in size, and you need a tank the size of a couch to keep them in.
Wow.
Actually, it depends on the tank that you have, because they will grow to adapt to the tank that you have.
True, but it's not They're basically wild kidnapped fish. It's not a good idea to kidnap them.
Well, unless it's from a fish breeder.
Yeah, I guess, but still.
Well, I mean, it's like adopting a stray from the street versus getting a bred puppy or a kitty.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
you can make the same argument that way, but let's move on. Liongate is really happy with the Power Rangers series, apparently.
Yeah.
It looks like Power Rangers meets Iron Man.
It kind of does.
And
you've
seen what the new Rita Repulsa looks like.
I'm kind of skeptical. Rita's not supposed to be this sexy, in my opinion. She was supposed to be the sort of
evil witch,
and
but slightly goofy.
Yeah, still, you were supposed to be able to laugh at her.
Yeah.
However, if you've ever seen Elizabeth Banks in anything, if anybody can add a comedic flair to that, it is her.
Yeah, but the thing is, she doesn't look comedic in that outfit.
Yeah.
She looks like a lizard. She looks like Poison Ivy crossed with the lizard.
Yeah, and really, Divatox is the one you should be saving the sexiness for.
Yeah, and
especially if they plan on doing what they say they are, which is about 6 more movies.
No kidding.
Well, they're thinking about it.
Presumably, 1 for each series, which puts it Time Force wise, Power Rangers, Zeo.
Now that would actually be
Turbo,
a kind of a cool one to put into a movie.
In Space, Lost Galaxy, Time Force.
I believe that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it got up to Time Force because they were the number.
Either that or it was Lightspeed Rescue. I don't remember which.
Lightspeed Rescue would actually be a good one to do with this art style, I think.
Yeah, they're waiting to see how well this does before they decide to go. Okay, we're gonna make this a movie franchise.
But they could but they're saying we could potentially go as far as 7 movies even.
Now that I think about it, the last Power Rangers series that I legitimately watched was Mystic Force.
Mystic Force had some interesting things with it.
Yeah, I know some people didn't like the kind of rapish opening of it.
That kind of, considering the magical elements, and then they go ahead and choose rap as their opening, there was some missed opportunity there.
It was missed opportunity, however, that song got stuck in my head.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that it wasn't a good earworm, though. The last one that I saw to conclusion...
Not to mention that was also the one that had the same actress of Rita Repulsa.
Yeah, they had Rita Repulsa make a fucking intro in the middle of the series.
No, she literally, when she became good, she became the Mystic Mother.
So literally, the progenitor of all the Mystic Force.
Yes. She became the mistress of good magic.
Holy shit.
Yes. Or at least she's being portrayed by the same actress.
Okay, the last 2 Ranger series I saw, and I'm counting them both because there was a big gap between them. Jungle Fury, which is the one where they had the Chinese kung fu with animal powers stick.
Okay.
Which was pretty decent because they had one of the Rangers outright just say, "No, I'm going to be evil." Like literally, he was the main villain for a good chunk of the first season.
Yeah.
And he didn't turn good until literally the tail end of the series.
Yeah.
The other one that I saw was Samurai Force.
And that one was a bit iffy.
Okay, the only reason that one was iffy because they had the fucking Kage they had the Kage thing going on, which is super weird unless you know the feudal system back in the day. And there were, of course, a lot of things that didn't make sense because it's super Japanese.
Yeah.
But honestly, the coolest thing is they had Rick Carderas, the Red Ranger from Wild Force, as one of the main anti-heroes.
Really?
Yeah, he was essentially this lone demon who was essentially wandering the earth, lone wolf and cub style, searching for the next challenge.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
And then he actually gets arrested because apparently he attempted murder on someone with a samurai sword.
Irony.
I don't know how that progressed, how that's going right now in court, but I remember that was a thing. And this was right after Samurai Force finished too.
Oh wait, now I remember the last one I watched, Operation Overdrive.
Okay, that one was terrible. I think with the exception of SPD, anything that was on Disney was terrible.
Yeah. I remember that one and let's move away. Let's move on to the next news.
Let's move from terrible show to terrible movie. Lion, the Space Jam sequel director says the project is doomed.
So literally, the guy in charge of directing this shit
is saying, "Nope, no, this ship will not float."
You are asking me to make a ship out of lead, sir. You are asking me to make a ship out of lead.
We're going to christen the thing, and then it's going to sink right in the harbor.
No, literally, I'm going to smack it with a wine bottle, and instead of the wine bottle shattering, the fucking boat will.
There you go.
Well, Space Jam is like one of those guilty pleasure movies. You know that it's pretty much horrible, but in its own way, it's glorious.
Yeah, it's like the awful combination of Michael Jordan meeting the
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes, combined with the bullshit plot, combined with the terrible yet oddly addictive soundtrack of Quad City DJs.
But it makes it glorious.
It is the
in its
Chico's
own way.
Tacos of movies.
Oh,
And Michael Jordan was a huge thing.
yeah.
However,
Back in his day,
now we're using LeBron James,
who is out the door.
who is not the biggest name right now.
And honestly, I couldn't give a rat's ass about LeBron James. But then again, I couldn't give a rat's ass about any sports star.
Right. So, again, I think this is too far past its time.
If they did a sequel earlier on, like right after it, I could have bought it.
If they had switched to a different sport, that would have probably also helped.
Yeah.
That was the thing that I was hoping for, was like switching to a different
Like,
sport.
if they, this is my personal opinion, if they were going to do a Space Jam 2, they should have done it with fucking football. And I mean the...
American football.
No, I mean the actual football.
With soccer.
Yes, because then you can have there's a huge spike in soccer, and then you get to also have the shenanigans of soccer.
Oh God.
Which I think, as far as like opportunities for roughhousing and comical physical gags, exist a lot more in soccer than in any other sport.
Oh, yeah.
Basketball would have been the second one, but we've already done it.
Mm-hmm.
So movies, show movies, and now we're going back to TV.
Yeah. So if you're like me and Leo, you've gone to these midnight screenings of Rocky Horror Picture Show. You've gone through the whole shenanigans of throwing the toilet paper, calling Janet a slut,
Of doing the time warp,
throwing rice,
throwing toast.
throwing.
Excuse you.
Sorry.
Toast. Many other things.
Just
Sheer dumb fun.
dumb fun, pure shenanigans in its like near crystallized form of shenanigans.
And Fox, of all producers,
Is making a TV series of this. Probably a miniseries.
probably a miniseries given the show's brevity, given the movie's brevity, but they're doing a series on Rocky Horror Picture Show
With RuPaul as Dr. Frankenfurter.
And this looks hilarious.
It does look hilarious. From Fox, of all people.
The Fox, one of the biggest evil...
One of the biggest conservative people one of the biggest conservative
From what
networks.
I've been reading, Tim Curry actually does have a part in here somewhere.
Holy shit.
Okay, consider me interested. Maybe he's like the guy at the opening. He's like sitting behind the desk of books.
I was gonna say yeah, probably. That would actually be a good way to open it.
Yeah, like he's the
yeah,
narrator.
He's the narrator. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the line from Django Unchained. It's like, first you had my interest, now you have me entertained.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Next, going from one cult classic to another, System Shock Remastered is going to launch its Kickstarter June 29th.
So the original System Shock?
The original System Shock is being remastered, and they are going to launch the Kickstarter campaign for it on June 29th.
Oh my god, can you imagine how many YouTubers are going to back this thing?
Oh yeah, this is going to be
It's going to get funded
big.
like that.
System Shock was one of the original stalker horror games for the PC that was like one of the best out there.
I think
It's going to get funded
I
like that.
don't remember whether or not Kevin Levine worked on this one. I know he worked on 2, and 2 was the good one.
2 was a lot better, but if they were going to remaster the first one, I remember that there was a lot of balancing issues with the first one.
Yeah, there
where
was.
If you didn't get the specific...
If you didn't have at least 4 points in something, you were fucked at the end.
Yeah.
I do remember that because Yahtzee mentioned that in his review of System Shock 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently that's getting hyped up.
So,
From one Kickstarter to another, Dark Souls board game. This got announced
Good
during
God.
our break, and I was pissed that we could not talk about this on the podcast.
I know,
Because holy shit, this game.
And people thought Monopoly induced rage.
No, not is it rage-inducing, but it's accurate to what it would be like to play Dark Souls on a board game. You actually have bosses from across all 3 games making appearances, and you have to actually fight them in a sort of Dungeons and Dragons Monopoly style sort of card move around the board game system.
That sounds really cool.
And the quality of the things is incredible.
I saw some of the pieces that were like, holy shit.
They could be detailed miniatures in and of themselves.
Yeah, you could just say, you know what, fuck it, I'll just get the board game so I could just have these figurines on my wall.
Now, the only problem is the price.
How much is it?
£200.
That's almost $400 US.
I believe that's how much it was, but let me check. But they raised over $5.4 million from the pledges, and it is one of the most. It raised $5.4 million and about 3.77 million pounds.
That's almost $300 here. That's how much it would cost.
Oh dear God!
If it's 200 pounds, then it's
it's about
like $292 here.
Let me look on the Kickstarter page itself, because that actually says how much it costs for the board, and they're still taking like pledges too if you are interested. Let me see it. Where is it? Updates campaign. But yeah, this look. Okay, so at least £75 if you want for stuff. £200 was for the retail copy, or 6 copies.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but look at this thing, like
75 pounds is like $109.
oh yeah, $100, and there's even more stuff where you get.
oh my
For
God!
like the full deal, it would be your 80 pound pledge gets you 180 pounds retail value. You get the core game, the bosses, which include Executioner Smaug, Dragonslayer Ornstein, and the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. 4-player characters, 5 mini bosses, several scores of grunts, board games, dice, boss character tiles, dials, board character boards, effect tokens,
Encounter decks.
In addition, you get expansions which include 6 more character classes,
Good God.
2 bosses which are the Pursuer and Alon Knight, 2 more hordes.
No, not the Alonite.
Sir Alon. You get there's Iron Keep expansion. There's armor sets which allow you to play as Havel.
The Crimson set, Guardian, Black Knight.
Yeah, the Katarina set. You have Adventurers expansions. You have Summon expansions.
Invaders.
They've unlocked Solaire as a summon.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. Like, this... seriously, if it wasn't for the fact that that initial price tag is, damn, that's hard. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, sorry if you guys hear some weird beeping. My Skype's being a derp.
I am excited about this next game. Phantom Brave is getting a Steam release in July.
Phantom Brave? I don't know if
See, I don't think I've ever...
Okay, so Phantom Brave...
Oh god, I've heard about this one. Fucking hell.
Okay, so this game is made by NIS and with Atlas. It's basically another extension to the Disgaea NIS RPG series.
Yeah.
This one was the first one I've ever played from NIS, and I loved it. I've only got to play it on the PS2 because fuck PS3 owners. You can get this on the Wii, you can get this on the PSP, but fuck PS3 owners.
Really?
Yeah, because I was not able to get this until July. I'm gonna get it in July. So this game features Marona, a girl who has the ability to summon ghosts and summon them into physical form to be able to go ahead and fight alongside her, and she works as a mercenary.
Good God.
A lot of other strange powers that happen along Marona being able to see and summon ghosts is considered a curse and is essentially treated like a witch. But she's got a lot of spunk. She's a very cute protagonist. Her ally Ash plays sort of the quiet stoic.
Yeah.
And he's got his own backstory. It's very cute. It's got a lot of interesting characters.
I saw a few of the cutscenes from it because my friend Gade was showing me this game, and I was like, huh.
Like, it has some, dark moments, but at the same time, it also has some lighthearted flair to it.
I think it was the opening that I was watching. and it just didn't appeal to me at first. But who knows?
I really like it. The only thing you should be wary of is that this is an NIS RPG, which means there are dungeons. If you want to be the best there ever was, you're going to have to grind in those dungeons. And be prepared to face some salty enemies, because by God, does the difficulty go ahead and like to slam into you in the later rounds.
Wham! Smack upside the head.
The last story, and I thought we should end on this because that way we can sort of lose all the salt that we had from earlier in the show. Electrician finds dead snake inside a PS4.
What the fuck? This is something that should not.
How did it get in?
That is the question.
Yeah.
But apparently someone turned in a PS4 to an electrician, asking him to fix it, and boom, bada boom, he opens it up, and there's a dead snake fused into the internal circuits.
So it literally shocked itself, got shocked to death, and then literally just started decaying onto the circuit
Melted
board.
onto the stuff, yeah.
Yep. So this is in Brazil.
Yeah, and oh dear God Almighty, I'm looking at the YouTube.
Just the YouTube title clip, and that looks disgusting.
Yeah.
Yep, and oh man. Ugh.
All right.
So I guess with that,
What's coming on the channel?
well, next week there's going to be the last 2 episodes of the Mario Party that we have recorded so far. After that, I'll be starting to post the Dark Souls videos up. For our DLC. For the DLC. Other than that, we might have plans to do other games. I don't know how our schedule's going to look like for other stuff.
We have plans for more Dark Souls. We have plans for some more Mario Party. We're going to try and see about doing 1 or 2 episodes of Fortune Street to see how that goes.
Yeah. And another thing that I've been meaning to say that I kind of promised a friend I would is I would mention his channel.
Okay.
My friend Bender, who's on my art site, he and I believe his boyfriend or roommate, I don't know which, have their own YouTube channel of doing Let's Plays. They're called Turn Takers.
Okay.
It's featured on our actual YouTube channel, so if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and take a look. He really would like the support and stuff like that. He barely gets like 1 or 2 views a video, and they're pretty good.
Okay. I'll probably take a look myself. Things I'm going to be looking out for. We're probably going to have at least 1 or 2 more Dungeons & Dragons sessions. We might do recaps of those as separate episodes depending on how things go.
If not, then they'll
If not, they'll be inside part of the podcast near the end again. Muzi, do you have anything you want to add as far as things or fun things you're going to do after the podcast?
Probably just play a little bit of some games, relax a bit.
Oh, you know what we're going to have to do, Zer0? I just
coming up
realized.
this week, so.
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to do an E3 breakdown.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, we're going to have...
Probably in like the middle of the week or something.
It's going to come out soon. I'm going to look up the date. It's probably going to come up
Yeah,
before the podcast.
we gotta do an E3 breakdown when
we need to
all of us can be here.
Yeah, but I'm saying we need to do it as close to the actual thing as possible.
Yeah, maybe the day after.
Probably not going to be doing a live reaction, but we probably will be using those for our notes.
Mm-hmm.
What day is E3?
That's what I say. It's the 14th through the 17th, which is what the story we did for Zelda said.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's...
So what we could actually do is, try to see how many of us can make it, like, the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because remember, they have one opening day, and they have a day for Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo.
But isn't Nintendo not doing an E3 presentation this year?
Yeah, they're not doing a huge one. They're focusing on the new Zelda game, which on their part is actually smart because then they're not promising a bunch of stuff to us and not, coming with it.
But you said the 15th through the 17th?
14th through the 17th. So that's Tuesday to a Friday.
Friday.
So if anything, because that would be right after the podcast. The next one is scheduled for the 11th.
Yeah.
So that would have to be an intramural one we do right before that Father's Day weekend.
Yeah, that would be fine with me.
Okay, we can probably make that work out, and we'll find a way.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out a way we can all do that, because that's E3. That's a big thing for all of us.
If anything, we'll probably do a late night recording for that. That's not a big deal,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
We'll make that one work. And
because that way
and even if
we've got everything to comment on.
right, because even if we're doing it from our own houses, I'm pretty sure that because Legend Zero and I live so close proximity wise, we shouldn't have as bad of an issue as when I've been in Iowa.
Yeah.
So that's something we could potentially do as well.
And of course, we'll have Muzi be the one to start the call because for some reason hers is better than me starting it.
Yeah, well, our internets respectively have issues.
Yeah.
I think that covers it.
All right.
And I definitely want to hear all your guys' opinions and Akari's opinions on some of the E3 stuff, because it's supposed to be interesting
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
absolutely. Okay, this is Leo Force
This is Death0
So, this is Muzi.
signing out.
signing off.
Later, guys.
Bye, guys.
And hopefully Legend will be back next time.
Hopefully.